Hi, friends. I'm Nicole Johnson. Many of you may know me as a person living with diabetes. I've had type 1 for almost 30 years. And I'm coming to you today to talk about the crisis that's ongoing in Ukraine and the surrounding areas, and also to give you an idea of something that you could do to help people with diabetes who are fleeing war and who are finding themselves in such uncertain situations, scary situations, and in a time of humanitarian need. The American Diabetes Association, along with our incredible partners around the world, has been really busy in the last couple of weeks doing all we can to respond to the needs of those that we are learning about in Ukraine and the surrounding areas, the countries that are receiving refugees and people with diabetes. We've been in constant contact with organizations on the international landscape, partners here in the United States who are helping to facilitate efforts over in Europe, as well as physicians and healthcare professionals on the ground in Ukraine and in other areas that are helping to care for people who are coming into a refugee status and fleeing war. So there's a great need underway, and it is heartbreaking for those of us who live with diabetes. And I know as you probably hear this, your heart will be torn apart just like mine is. What we're hearing right now from the health professionals on the ground caring for people who are living with diabetes is that there is desperate need. The need is very specific, and it's actually something that you and I can respond to today. And I have a pathway and a suggestion for you. So the need that we're learning about is the need for diabetes testing supplies. This means everything from alcohol pads to gently used meters, unopened and unused test strips, lancing devices that are unused, and all of these items must be in date, ideally with a 6-month window until their use by date. We need all the testing supplies that we can get our hands on, and any brand, any form. This could include syringes, pen needles, all kinds of things. You can just let your mind wander about the breadth and the intensity of the need. So our partner, Insulin for Life, an incredible organization actually based in Florida, it's in Gainesville, Florida, Insulin for Life USA, they are coordinating the response effort and getting supplies and the items needed to the people, the healthcare professionals in Ukraine and the surrounding countries who are expressing these dire concerns and significant need. Our collaboration with them is intense, and we're so grateful for the work that they do. So here's the request for you. Would you go today? Look at your diabetes supply closet. Maybe it's a box that you keep all of your diabetes stuff in. Look and see what you have that you might be able to give, and send it to Insulin for Life USA. I'm going to provide the address of where you send this in the chat here in just a second so that you can see that and you can utilize it to send your items with love to the people who have diabetes, who are in the middle of unimaginable circumstances. So that's the thing that we can do right now. Let me share with you one more thing that's happening that the American Diabetes Association, we are so proud to have been a part of this, and we're so grateful for the people around the world who are collaborating with us and working or have worked to make this possible. One of the most significant needs in times of crisis, a humanitarian crisis, is guidelines for insulin switching. What that means is when people have to leave with the clothes on their back and really not much else, and they get into a situation where they're in need of medications and insulin, and they'll take whatever they can get. That might not be the same as what they're used to. And so we have created guidelines in partnership with so many organizations from around the world and healthcare professionals who have generously stayed up countless hours, given so much of their time to make sure that this guide is translated and is region specific and appropriate and is in the languages of the people who have the great need right now. And that's multiple languages all throughout Eastern Europe. So this insulin switching guide is available online. The Diabetes Disaster Response Coalition has a website that's called the DDRC. And on that website, this insulin switching guide is there. I would direct you to that so that you might review it, see it, have knowledge of what's going on, and share it. Because let's get this information to go viral throughout all of social media and all of our communication networks so that the people who have great need and are looking for information, they might be able to find it. Now, we're also doing our part from the American Diabetes Association. We're speaking with professionals on a regular and constant basis that are on the ground in Ukraine and the surrounding areas to make sure that we are meeting their needs and providing them with the information that they are seeking. We're so thankful for the people who are helping to execute this. There's so many steps and so many parts of this picture. There are many, many hands, many hearts, many minds that go unrecognized. I'd just like to take a moment to just say thank you to them for their efforts, for the things that they're doing, and for loving people with diabetes. The American Diabetes Association is here for all people who live with diabetes, and our goal is to make their lives easier and to help them thrive regardless of the situation that they find themselves in. And so we will continue in collaboration with our partners around the world to respond to this crisis. But in conclusion, won't you help us today? Won't you look and see what supplies you might have to share and send them over to Insulin for Life so that we can get them into the hands of the professionals in Eastern Europe so that then they get to the people with diabetes to help make their life just a little bit easier in the midst of all the turmoil they're experiencing. Thank you for your consideration, and thank you for your attention.